They begun to win with it. He began to look very good on the champion. So wouldn't be shocked to see it go to Bjergsen, but Hunter also can bring this up in the top lane as that safe kind of blind pick. So we'll see where they want to go.
And of course, TSM didn't send any of their bans towards the jungle. They put 2 more bans in the top lane to try to pinch Impact's pool, known of course to play his tanks very well. That Shen's still available though, which he's been so keen to play before. And into Sion, it's not like it's the best matchup for Sion anyway.
Yeah, Shen can be pretty good, but there are more kind of lane-focused matchups. Lowy would be one, would be shocked to see it, but you know, things like Darius we've seen, even more common picks like Trundle and Cho'Gath can match up fairly well in these sort of tank versus tank matchups. And you know, the Cho'Gath is right up Impact's alley. It is something that he's going to be pretty comfortable on, especially when there's no guarantee that that is a Sion top. Of course. This is a fairly safe blind pick, even if it does result being up against that Sion.
So now we know the matchups for Team Liquid. Cho'Gath in the top lane, Ryze in the mid. We've seen Sion played into both of those before, and they're going to took maybe a Trundle here on the top side and put that Sion over there, but as the Hovers go back and forth to figure out where they want to put these champions, I think Sion can lane very well into Ryze, but Orianna is the hover. You mentioned that at the very beginning of one of the likely odds for Bjergsen.
Yeah.
And he's going to be on one of his more famous champions. Orianna in the mid lane, Sion does go top, will be beating that Cho'Gath up there. And Bjergsen's Orianna, the fight for the 3rd place seed. Pobelter and Team Liquid hoping to make the rise in the standings at the end of it all.
And I think this makes quite some sense simply because while the Trundle would be a cool flex pick to actually have this advantageous lane matchup perhaps, the scary part about it would be very low on wave clear. So if your opponents do get ahead, if they do start grouping and sieging and pushing, well, you have a Trundle and a Sion as your main wave clear. That's not going to be very impressive. So too much of the onus would be on Sven. And I think this draft is fairly well-rounded. You have very powerful engage with the Zac, with the Sion, who can be followed up on with the Shockwave and you know the Corrupting Chains there from the Varus. So definitely a lot of powerful engage in AoE CC. And meanwhile, on the other side, you essentially have this massive front line, 3 members in the front line protecting Doublelift, protecting Pobelter. And it's going to be their responsibility to really be avoiding those engages, stepping back, and then punishing the engage coming out of TSM.
It's a very magic damage heavy team for both these sides. Actually, the tanks are almost ubiquitously magic, and even the AD carry pick.
Passive lane, then stacking up the tier earlier makes a lot of sense, and that will pay dividends later.
And that really was the goal when the design of those items came through, is Ole gets to make the freeze happen, and Smithy doesn't really force him off this one, so it's actually going to stop Sven's recall.
Oh, and Smithy is actually behind them now as a result. Sven's off his base.
For Liquid, they've got better items as well. The stun on Smithy is already there, and he's got his summons, but it does not matter. First blood comes through for Ole, cleanly done. And TSM kind of screwing up that push.
Yeah, nicely done there by Liquid, capitalizing on that. Ole setting up the freeze is actually what prompts Sven to cancel his base. They say, no, we can't give up this freeze. We need to start this push in. Smithy knows he's caught, not even going to blow the summoners. I think that is the right choice.
Well, Haunter has no TP, but does have ulti if he wants to get back to the lane. Also, still sticking around topside. He did not finish the recall. He's waiting for a play. If TL overcommits, that doesn't happen. A flash comes out, and Let's Bounce brings one back in. So they have the damage on an impact, looking for the slap together. In comes the unstoppable Sion for more CC to come through. A flash out from Pope, but they find Xmith that he's forced to jump away. Gets just barely out from this one, and the health bar is incredibly low as Bjergsen might find the flash shockwave. Can he get it? Can he go for impact? There's a shockwave in. There's the kill picked up. Alone time with the turret. Of course, keep in mind that Doublelift is pushing alone on the bottom side at that same moment.
Oh, it's actually going to be so close on who gets the first turret. They ran out of minions. TL run out of minions, though, on the bottom side. And TSM just barely will get that first turret plus the kill. So a really clever lane swap here. I think catching TL off guard and TL not able to respond perfectly to it. They do lose the kill. They do lose the first turret.
Yeah.
Very nicely done. But one thing that you have to point out is really the CS differential in the AD carry role, because all of the CS was given over to Doublelift on the bottom side, where it was shared or kind of not given over to Sven on the top side.
Definitely relevant having that Cogmouse spike up, but right here the Sion is still waiting, so it ends up being an extended 5v3.
Yeah, exactly. The Sion actually cancels his base. I believe TL was thinking he's probably already gone. And then Pobelter coming in. He waited in the bush the whole time. Haunter just honestly getting a really good bait, drawing them back into the brush, then comes out with the re-engage. And Bjergsen was already on the roam. You can see he shoved up mid lane, denying as many CS as possible. And instead of trying to go for the flashier big play, he gets the guaranteed kill, doesn't expend.
Lost that Doublelift got with all that extra farm. 500 gold lead for TSM right now.
Oh,
and now
ulting in behind Pobelter.
Ooh, he's going to try to get away. Shockwave going to land anyway, though, and there's not much of a place to go. Suddenly, a 4v1 out of nowhere. Camp mid, and Pobe is dead.
Just beautifully done, honestly. The rotation here from TSM, the bot lane has been moving around the map, very proactive, and without the flash on Pobelter, they knew he couldn't get away. This is going to be a free farm to his Rage Blade, and now going to have opportunities in these team fights.
They find the knockup, they find the double Q slap, and Let's Bounce is going to bring in one as double flash away.
Coming in for
Not
DL.
easy for Ole, but jumps right back into his teammates, and here comes the rest of the squad. 5 are here, and TSM suddenly outnumbered as they're starting to fall. 1 is gone, make it 2, and Mike Young might have a prayer here as he jumps right across the team of Flash 2 comes across now. Flash
the right
himself.
Follow.
And they're going to find Shockwave. Shockwave going to disengage, but Xmithie already finds the front line. Plus Rupture means Bloblets, and that's going to be a certain death. They give the kill to Impact, interestingly enough. Big fight out of Liquid.
Yeah, should have given that one to Kog'Maw, but still such fast reactions. The double TP comes in faster and closer for TL. Their members collapse. They turn that one around. That is a big win for
now onto this one. The best they could have made off that play. We're a little bit under about half HP, but the minion wave is dying pretty quickly. Gonna get lower and lower, and Ole actually getting himself into melee range will take some damage. Nice Shockwave comes in, and he could be running out of health, and they will, in fact, delete the Braum. Ole stepping a bit too far forward, and that actually might mean mid lane tier 2 will fall.
Yeah, Ole just kind of wandered in there without the support of his team, and he's going to go down as their...
The pressure into the jungle goes the entire team on both sides. A knock up there onto the front line. Hanser running out of health, knocked right back into the air, and that's going to be a kill going to Pobelter. 5-4 now the overall scoreline. The re-engage towards Pobe, half HP, runs away. Hanser on the front line with his zombie corpse, and not too much more. Red goes over to double lift. The 1-for-0 remains a kill for TL.
That was actually really nicely played there by Ole, using the Braum ultimate to delay the escape from Hanser, then getting up and actually proccing the blast cone as well to knock him back into the team, cut off that escape avenue. So does make a mistake around mid lane, but kind of making up for it here.
Now they've got to wait for the respawn. 8 seconds till Hanser's back up on the map. Does have ulti, does have teleport, so we'll see when he gets himself in with the team and where he does go when that respawn comes through. We can watch this fight one more time. Hanser watches what ends up being 4 or 5 people.
And look at Ole, just nice ultimate through 3, knocking them all up, steps forward, knocks the blast cone back, so no real way for Hanser to escape. Just a really heads up play there, and it's a little thing, but those can really make a difference.
Yeah, a kill often means more than just a single kill. Team Liquid actually able to walk in and steal a blue buff as well. A spit of Varus, and Impact does not have flash.
Oh,
does have
on the Baron, they just rise ultied in the pit.
What a good play out of TL. They're going to trade Impact for a Baron. Worth it every
there, though.
time.
He could try to steal this. He's going to ult into the pit.
But look at that, it's at 2,600 HP, so now he's got to save Flash for that one, or a Blast Cone, 700 health, the Flash forward. Oh, it's going to be grabbed up by Rise. Pobelter gets a trade of a kill via Shockwave, but now Sion's going to find himself some more prey. Xmithie does have Flash if he needs it, trying to cut away from the team, but now he's got nowhere to go, so this will be TL losing 3 people as payment for grabbing Baron, assuming they can actually kill off Xmithie. He's still running away pretty fast.
Might have a chance to get out here, but I don't think so. I think he's going to be run down. Maybe just trying to waste as much time as possible. But you can see TSM is even pushing on the bottom side of the map, and Xmithie does eventually go down. Bjergsen picking up a couple kills is so strong. If the Hurricane can hit all 3 of those, you have the percentage HP damage, which is also going to be very, very effective there from the Blade of the Rune King. So this is an ideal build at tank killing, and I think that's what he needs to look for.
Meanwhile, Tank's trying to kill him, but only the front line is grabbed as Ole forced to flash right back out. The stun comes through. What are they going to get? A lot of damage, and Braum is going to go away until Winter. That's a kill picked up. Sorry, Santa, you're gone on this one. A nice Shockwave. Going to get Impact. Xmithie actually disrupts the jump forward, but a slow is going to land, and Impact will lose his life. A kill over to Sven. 2-0 TSM. Baron buff or not. And have to go to the top lane for some more fun.
Yeah, just a nice engage there from Mike Young. They find a couple of kills off these frontliners. And they're looking for another play on Impact.
Might be true. 3v1 though. The knock up easy onto Impact, and he can't really knock down Mithy easily, running a bit lower on health, but Impact will indeed fall a second time in a row. They picked him off in this side lane by himself. Thanks to Tom French ultimates. That turret is going to drop. No problems at all. Sven up to 5-1 and 3. He's doing pretty nicely damage-wise, building towards the Rune King himself. TSM, though, usually tips that towards TSM's favor, but execution, of course, vitally important. Speaking of which, onto the front line, they see Impact yet again. a bit small for a Cho'Gath. The knockup is in, down to about half HP, and into the back line comes the Zac, tries to find Let's Bounce. He's so low on health, and absolutely shredded by Doublelift's Cogmog. Smithy pops the hourglass, runs away, Shockwave onto 3 though, and they get the trade kill, but the Drake was picked up on TSM's side, or sorry, TL's side. And that is actually a seemingly 1 for 0. TSM get the kill, but Liquid get the Infernal.
Yeah, Doublelift actually shredded straight through him, but they killed off Smithy, and they are going straight into this Baron pit. Already Tahm Kench ulting into this. I don't think...
When to stop this one, they will lose some turrets. The front line taking some damage, but out they go. Cogma, yeah, putting the hit towards them. Mithy getting a bit low, not quite stunned. The Chomp comes in, and Bjergsen is dead with Flash still on. The chasing. TL must get something. Rise gonna bring him not very far. Bulldozer with an oopsie of a Realm Warp.
Oh, you hate to see that, Freak.
That's a tilter. They don't stop the recalls either, but they do get some time to push. 1 kill, 1...
You are a pretty big advocate for?
Yeah. Pope wants to flash away from
a
slow Sven, flash ults, and Pope has no escape tools except for damage output. Can he just kill Sven? That answer is no. Found out by the rest of the team. Mike Young there in the back lines. They could look for impact. They're going to get the knockup on the front line there. They can get a kill on the Cho'Gath as a result.
Over the wall.
Let's Bounce going to pull him back. Double only does enough damage to force them away, but not enough to kill. This Cogma not a big enough threat.
Their team
run away.
going to go for the end here. Doublelift's not in the fight.
Can they claim third right after this one? Hanser walks right in. He's got Superman is next to him. Chunk, chunk, chunk. The Lumberjack, of course, not the skin in TSM's favor.
And it's also so much map pressure with the 2 inhibs down. And Elder is coming up. Baron is coming up. TL essentially needs to force a fight right away to be able to challenge for this Elder. And they need to engage. They need to win the fight, get the Elder, get back to base.
Elder's alive. Not going to be landing on the Hanser, but that sign is very tanky. Sedgels only gets some of the back line, but there's no follow-through on Bjergsen. Now they've got some time shooting up at Zion. And this time he will ult for a disengage, but the health bar getting pretty low at 1K. He stays alive. Warmog's still in the inventory, means he'll heal up shortly.
And TSM just need to buy time. Look at the mini waves in top and bot. TL is going to have to call it off. They're going to retreat, it looks like. They need to get back to base and defend their Nexus, so no chance of a steal.
Smithy's zoned out. Hanser, Mithy, Bjergsen, the 3 of them, making sure that can't happen. Mithy, ulti gets interrupted. There's the Elder picked up. Where's the big play coming through? Is
one has respawned to the bot side, which stops it from being 6 super minions per round and moves it just to 2. But we'll see. They're going to need something special.
Over 1,000 gold per member on TSM, but they choose to say it's time to push instead. Let's not wait any longer. Looking for the damage on a Pope. Not Banshee's off just yet, but Mike Young's going to turn that one away, which means the flash is forced, but he's still going to be found out. Let's Bounce. Going to bring him right back in. Scooped up the Rise, and that's going to be the kill. Going over to Mithy, chomps him up no problem without a mid laner. How can you hope to defend? Doublelift has to do miracle work right now in the 4v5. Otherwise,
yeah, Bjergsen still has his shockwave. Sven still has his ulti. I just don't see it happening, but Doublelift is going to try. This is the last fight potentially for that 3rd place for TSM.
And Hib's going to fall. Taking their time. They've got 30 seconds to play with the balls forward, looking for what Bjergsen's going to find. Doublelift is the one to watch. Found with the slow. Gets away from it, though. Gets some time to shoot the front line now. He's going to take down Mike Young to Bloblitz. Waiting for some damage to come across. Ole's going to kite back. They get the kill onto Smithy already, though. So 5v3. Turrets falling, and Doublelift just cannot find the right targets. The tanks will not go down. A double for Sven. Nexus over. TSM claim the 3rd seed in playoffs.
And what a run it's been for TSM, struggling so heavily at the start of the split. So much criticism aimed their way because of that poor start, because of all the changes they have made, and it has to feel like vindication for TSM, ending in 3rd seed, taking down TL, who was the other supposed super